Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn GCP with Mahesh. So in our today's video and Think and Design in GCP video series, it's a continuation of the video which I did yesterday where we had a Cloud SQL instance which has only having private IP address, and we tried to show how a developer can connect using his laptop or his desktop using the option of tunneling. So that's what the thing which I showed yesterday. So continuation of that video is yesterday the developer, in that case the developer was having basically a owner role. Today what we'll do is we'll downgrade his role. So we'll try to use a principle of least privilege and see how a developer with the right privilege can connect to it, because it's very difficult and it's not very realistic to give every developer a owner role. So we'll try to give the exact role what he's supposed to have. So we'll try to use the principle of least privilege and we'll try to do it. So today in this demonstration, I'm not going to create the Cloud SQL instance and the data and the virtual machine because it was already created yesterday. We'll try to use the same instance, but the focus is how to give the principle of least privilege. So what is the correct IAM role you should give so that a developer can connect to the Cloud SQL instance from his laptop or desktop. So coming to our GCP console, so this is the same Cloud SQL instance which we provisioned yesterday, and we also have the same virtual machine which was provisioned yesterday. What we will do is there are a couple of things which you need to do. So let's first try to give access to a specific user. So what we'll do is let's try the standard user which we do in most of our demo.gcp 2020 user. Let's try to give him the role. So what we'll do is, for the initial purpose, let's give him a viewer role. That's the first role which we'll give, so that at least he can log into the web console. So that is the first thing. The second role, which is the most important thing, which I feel is you need to give him service account role. So click on the drop down and go to your service account option and make sure you give service account user role. Click on this and you don't need to send a notification. It's for the demonstration purpose. That's done. So this is the first step. This is the first access you should give. Now the second access which you should give, or the role which you should give, is click on the specific virtual machine and click on show info panel, and here we will give him compute admin role. Why I'm giving it here is I could have given him at this level itself, like here itself I could have given him compute admin role. If I give him compute admin role at IAM level, he will be in compute admin for all the virtual machines which is created in this project. I don't want to give him that access. Rather, only for this virtual machine he is compute admin. For other virtual machines he cannot even log in. We'll see that towards the end. So let's try to add this user only for this virtual machine. So demo.gcp 2020 user @gmail.com, and only for him we'll try to give compute admin. All good? Uncheck this notification. So this is step number 2. The next step is, since in the previous demo I was a owner, I can connect to any virtual machine using the tunneling, identity aware proxy tunneling option. But if you are not having owner role, you need to make sure you also give this user secure tunneling option. So to do that, click on the hamburger menu. This is the step number 3. Go to your IAM and admin. Under that you have identity aware proxy. Click on that identity aware proxy, and there you can make sure you select this virtual machine and give him the right role required. So let's try to do that. Okay, the screen has come up. So the one which is interest for us is SSH option. So click on SSH and you should see this instance there. Click on this and click on add user, and make sure you add this user demo.gcp 2020 @gmail.com. And what you need is a specific role called as cloud IA. Under cloud IAP you will see this IAP secure tunnel user. Just give that. So we have given 3 different roles to this user or groups of user, and if you go to the firewall rule, you will see something like this. I have added a specific firewall rule. This is for cloud IAPs for basically cloud identity aware proxy, you should make sure you create a firewall rule, and the source IP should be this one. This has to be the exact CIDR range you should give. So this is called as net blocks. You need to make sure you need to add that. So if you have not added right, this will show a warning. So when you click on the warning, it will suggest please add a firewall rule which makes sure uh, the source IP is this and all ports are open. This is a prerequisite. So if we do it, just a quick recap, there are lots of steps which we did. The first step was we gave this specific user viewer and service account user. Then we went to the specific virtual machine, and for that specific virtual machine only we selected and gave that user compute admin. If I just refresh the screen, if I just refresh it once again, we gave compute admin only to this user. That was a step number 2. Step number 3 was went to identity aware proxy, selected that specific instance and gave IAP -secure tunnel user. So these are 3 steps. For you, it may be one more step, which is to activate the firewall rule. So those are the steps. If you do it, we should be all good, and we'll try to see whether this user demo.gcp 2020 user is able to connect or not. So let's just do that. All right, I'm in my terminal. So before we proceed further, just wanted to show you what are the settings which I'm using. So if I click on type gcloud config list, this time it will show the user which I'm using is GCP demo.gcp user 2020, and it is not 2021, who is basically a owner. So let's wait for the output. So if you see clearly, it is demo.gcp user 2020, not 21. So meaning I'm not a owner. So that is the key here. So as usual, let's try to connect it using the command which we ran yesterday. Same command. So nothing difference. So let's try to connect it and see the putty screen to come up. Again, I don't want to pause the video here. So let's wait for it to come up. So let's wait for it. Yes, the putty screen is coming up. Let's wait for a minute here to show so that it can show. And people who watch the yesterday's video, the way to see whether port forwarding is happening or not is by once it fully gets connected, you can click on this title bar, click on event log, and when you click on event log, you will see this information. We are forwarding over port 8090. So that is the information. So let's just minimize this. Let's try to connect it. Alright, so I have opened the screen back to back just to show you how it works. Now let me type the same command. So it's not, it has to be, sorry, it has to be port 8090 because that's the port it is listening on. So let me just change this, connected, and I'm all good. I can just do everything what yesterday we saw with the owner access. We are able to do this. That's awesome. Now if I do /q, the connection would be closed. Awesome. We'll not just stop it here. I just wanted to show you the roles which we have given is really the right roles. So to confirm that, let me create a virtual machine and log in as demo user, demo.gcp user 2020 user, and see whether he will have access to SSH option to that virtual machine or not. So I'm back in the console. So I have logged in as GCP demo.gcp user 2020-21 user. So which is the owner. So let me quickly create a virtual machine and see whether this virtual machine, whether the user will be able to access it or not. Just wanted to show you that confirmation. GCE check. So this is a check. So I'm just going to leave everything default with just making the virtual machine a micro. And let me just click on create. So we'll just wait for this instance to be created. So the intent here is when we log in as demo.gcp 2020 user, he will be able to SSH into this machine because he's a compute admin for this virtual machine. But for this virtual machine, which is getting provision GCP GCE-check, he should not be able to log in. Let's just check that. All right, I have logged in as, if you click, you see this demo.gcp 2020 user. Now if I SSH into this, you see this, I can SSH into this. I'm not going to pause the video, it's a live one. So you can SSH into this because you are a admin, compute admin. So you should be able to log in. So let's just wait for the screen to come up. So let's wait here. Let's wait. Connecting. So just it should take a couple of minutes. Yes, I'm there with this. That's all good. Now let me just leave this. I don't want to. Now if I click on this machine, let's see whether I can do anything. So let me just see. It should not even allow me to log into this virtual machine. That is the expected thing. You see this? You don't have enough permission to log in also. That's the coolest part. Now you see this? I cannot even create my virtual machines. Only thing is that since I'm a viewer, I'm able to see results and all other resources. It's okay. If you don't want that also, make sure you remove the viewer role also. So just a quick recap. So we were able to use the principle of least privilege and made sure the developer has only the access which is required and not give him owner role. So that's the thing which I wanted to share today. Thank you for watching.